Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear listeners. It's 1407 on this 21st day of Rabiul Awwal 1447 AH, which corresponds to Sunday, the 14th of September 2025. I'm Ziad Plachis, and with me in studio are my co-hosts Nabia and Isa Plachis. Welcome to Level Up, where we listen, learn and grow, inshallah, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's guidance, and we break down the week's news and talk about what really matters to young Muslims today. Our WhatsApp line is open. The number is 072-786-1548, or you can call in on 011-854-7022.
Okay, so we have a more technology-based program lined up for today, where we will be taking a closer look at the much-anticipated annual Apple event. And we will be interviewing co-CEO of Singularity U South Africa, Mic Mann, on their upcoming summit next month. And we believe that Isa has something he's going to share a bit later on in the show.
Yes, I'm no expert, but I have a few tips on how to detox from your devices.
Oh, wow. How to detox from your devices. Looking forward to that segment of the program.
That sounds quite interesting, Isa.
Yes, that does sound interesting. Okay, so for now, let's get into some of this week's tech news. I see Isa has a big grin on his face. What are you so excited about?
Well, this week, Apple had their annual event, and we saw the launch of a few new gadgets from the tech giant. Apple have launched the Watch Series 11, Watch SE 3, Watch Ultra 3, and AirPods Pro 3. The ones everybody has been waiting for, the iPhone 17, 17 Pro, and 17 Pro Max. And something new, the iPhone Air. The iPhone Air is claimed to be the thinnest iPhone and smartphone on the market, which is 0.2 millimeters thinner than the Samsung S25 Edge.
Sure, it's crazy how thin they've made it. I believe it's 5.6 millimeters, hey?
Yeah, it is. They said it's as thin as a pencil. Can you believe a phone as thin as a pencil?
You might just drop it in your hand. I think it would be nice when it's not bulky in your pockets, right? But
yeah. But we used to have quite thin phones before. I don't know if you remember, like the flip phone, Motorola Razr.
I know. No, I don't remember that.
It was before your time.
My time. No, I'm joking. I remember the brick phones. My very first phone was the Ericsson, and then after that was that Nokia. So I remember the brick phones. I don't remember the very, very thin ones.
No, so we always do this like loop. So yeah, I think we're going back to that now.
Oh, okay. So it was thin, Isa?
Yeah. But you have an option of adding a MagSafe battery to it, which makes it thicker.
So then, you see, that's exactly what they do. They tell you it's the thinnest phone.
Right.
And then you have to add some extras on. And then you add on your, what's this? Your case.
Yes. And
then that's a thick armor on it as well.
Oh, goodness.
But anyway, Apple will convince you that you just need a one-day battery. That's what you need anyway. So
yeah. Well, you know that most people charge their phones multiple times during the day, so I'm sure that's fine, if you add on an extra battery and so on. Lisa has more to say.
The iPhone Air has a 6.5-inch screen, OLED display, and a 48-megapixel fusion camera, which is supposed to be 4 cameras in one, and an 18-megapixel selfie camera.
Okay, that's interesting. And what colors do they come in?
Space black, cloud white, light gold, and sky blue.
The sky blue looks quite nice.
Is it something you would get?
It would, because when we had iPhones, this was like back in the early 2000s, we could only get black or white.
Yes, I think we had white.
We only had white,
yeah. And it was the iPhone 5.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
What's it on now? 16, 17?
17.
Wow. Okay.
So what's the price of the iPhone Air, Isa? And when is it available from?
Okay, so we're looking at a price of 25,999 Rand. and is available for pre-order with expected release on 19th September 2025, like all the Apple devices that were announced this week, inshallah. Apple also announced the iPhone 17, 17 Pro, and 17 Pro Max, but the public were not too happy
with the price.
Well, you could buy a car for 25,999 rand. Now you're buying a phone. I mean, imagine telling someone like 20 years before that you'd be paying almost 30,000 rand. Well, they are like, the more you add on to the phone, it becomes like 30, 40,000.
Because I believe they don't even come with chargers now, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's just a cable. It's like basic. I mean, we used to get everything in. Yeah. There was earphones as well. There was everything. Now you have to buy
it. Yeah. And now
I think you even have to pay for the box.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, imagine 20 years ago, we were still using landlines, and you tell someone that you're going to be paying 30,000 rand for this phone.
For this phone that you hardly use. Because we never used to use a phone that much. But so what's the main upgrades from iPhone 16 to 17? Not many, but
let's go through it. So from the 16 to the 17, there's a slightly bigger screen. So you're looking at from a 6.1 to a 6.3 inch. I don't know if that makes a difference in a lot of people's lives.
A 0.2 inch. Is that what you said?
Yeah, a 0.2 inch.
Okay.
Then they have some new technology, a ProMotion technology, as well as always on display.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They now have the Ceramic Shield 2. Right, I think it's still the Ceramic Shield 1, but they just added a 2 at the end of it. I can see Yazdan laughing in the back there because he knows it's true. And it's 3 times better scratch resistance.
Wait, does he have an iPhone?
No, he doesn't have an iPhone.
Okay. No. Okay, so we can continue with the the minor changes.
But we're not hitting on iPhone. Like
No, of course not.
The thing is, we just pointing out the differences and what's in the market at the moment.
Exactly. And you need to know, as someone who's paying, I mean, I know I can, I can't afford it at all. But someone who wants to buy a phone needs to know exactly the changes, the differences between this one and that one, just like how when you do your car reviews. But
exactly,
anyway,
because now you're paying almost like 4,000 or 5,000 rand difference from last year's phone.
Yeah.
So why should you be paying that?
Exactly. Okay, so carry on.
Okay, so I said 3 times better scratch resistance. That's something worth it. Okay, we'll add that to the checklist. There's a new chip, so instead of the A18, you're now getting an A19. Again, they just added 1. But no.
Okay.
There is some neural accelerator, so it's slightly faster. Okay? So it's got a little bit of a turbo there. Then the 17 now has 8 more hours of video playback. So it's moved up from, I think it was 22 to about 30 hours of video playback now.
Mm-hmm.
The front camera, so this is one of the main things. The front camera is now bumped up from a 12 megapixel to an 18 megapixel center stage.
That sounds like a significant.
Yeah.
Okay, upgrade.
So they're using this thing called center stage for photos and video calls. It has ultra stabilized video and dual capture.
Dual capture?
Yes.
Oh, as in where you can capture at the same time?
Yes.
Only now? They added it only now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So we saw this in the Nokia, what was it, 7, 8?
Nokia 7, I think it was. And I think it was around 2018 or 2017.
Yeah.
And they called it
the Bothi.
It was an ugly name. I didn't like that name, to be honest. But it's because you can view both the front and the rear camera at the same time. So that's why they called it Bothi. But we use it now on Samsung for the past few years, isn't it?
Yeah, but Nokia had it where it was a split screen.
Right.
So they had the front camera, well, you could choose front on the top and the rear and the bottom. But Samsung then refined it, if you can say that, and they made like a picture-in-picture, so you could actually change the size of the picture-in-picture.
Oh yes.
So it didn't have to be half the screen.
Yeah.
And yes, Isa, we use it. What is it called?
director's view.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
they-
use it for our
Reviews.
reviews.
Yes,
When we're
yes.
doing the car reviews, we in the
And you
small
guys have
corner
been using
there,
it
and then
for
we,
years.
yeah.
So only now iPhone has introduced the dual camera.
Capture,
Okay,
yeah.
interesting. Okay.
But with that, they've changed the rear ultra-wide angle camera also from a 12 megapixel on the 16, and they've replaced it with a 48 megapixel Fusion
Okay.
ultra-wide.
That's also a significant increase.
Yeah, so
upgrade.
so the two cameras and obviously the technology behind it, or the apps that they use for the cameras, is quite a significant upgrade.
Okay.
The iPhone 16 currently starts from 18,499 Rand, and the 17 will start from 20,799 Rand.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's it. It's what, 3,000, 4,000 and extra.
The iPhone 17 Pro has similar upgrades to the iPhone 17, but are still similar to what we
What you saw
So
in the
in the
iPhone 16, isn't it?
Pro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
16 Pro, yeah.
besides the new cameras
Yes.
and 8 times optical zoom.
Okay.
The iPhone 16 Pro is currently 22,999 Rand. And for not much more, the iPhone 17 Pro will have a price tag from 28,599 Rand.
When you said not much more, did you mean not much more in terms of the features or not much more in terms of the price?
Price.
In terms of the
Okay.
price. Okay, are you getting paid by Apple to say not much more? Because it's quite a bit more.
It's quite a bit more.
But there's also cool new colors. So there's the
Okay.
cosmic orange, there's a deep blue.
Yes.
Those are two new colors. I mean, we know on cars, if you're getting a metallic color, you're paying extra for that. So maybe that's
Okay.
where the extra comes in.
Maybe. Yeah, okay.
Lastly, the iPhone 17 Pro Max has also not changed much besides the camera upgrade through the iPhone 17 series. But the price has increased from 27,999 Rand for the 16 Pro Max to 31,299 Rand for the 17 Pro Max.
But that's from.
Yes, so it's still more.
Yeah,
eh?
so as you add like more storage, more this, more that, more eye care and this and that. And
Okay.
yeah,
All right, so if any of our listeners want to know if it's worth it,
right.
right? I don't know, Isa, I don't know if it was you or Ziad who showed me a meme. It said, on this meme, it said, the iPhone 17 is coming out, which means the price of the 16 will come down and I can finally afford the iPhone 7.
Okay, it's a bit far-fetched
Yes.
because, I mean, there's a lot that has changed since the iPhone 7. But unpopular opinion, I think after the iPhone, what was it, 5S?
That is, yeah.
After Steve Jobs, I think they just lacked a lot of innovation. And we just spoke about Nokia. Nokia haven't been a major player in the last 20 years. So for them to have stuff on their phones that Apple's only introducing now means that they're still catching up in quite a bit. A lot of brands are like that. They focus on different things. I mean, they were obviously looking at other technologies, the earpods and those type of things, and maybe they're looking at their other devices, and they're not concentrating on the phones as much as like Samsung say. But yeah,
I feel the same. The last few years, there has not been much of a difference in the devices. So if you miss this one, you can always get the next one in the next year or two.
You can always do that
can
so
always do it,
easily,
yeah.
eh? Okay, and then what were the other devices that Apple have launched in this? Maybe just tell us the pricing.
Okay, Watch Ultra 3 from 19,499 Rand. Watch Series 11 from 9,699 Rand. Watch SE3 from 5,999 Rand. And AirPods Pro 3 from 5,499 Rand.
Okay.
Sure, that's a lot.
and the AirPods doesn't even have a wire like this. But that's a watch. You're paying 20,000 rand for like a phone watch. It's not even a timepiece. We used to call them timepieces. You know, the fancy watches. Then you pay like
you're giving
money
away your age. Okay, Ziad. Also in the news, in terms of tech, electric vehicles are regarded as tech, right? Technology.
Well, I think all vehicles now, there's so much tech in it, you can't even jumpstart a car anymore. Everything is run via a computer, and I mean, Isa knows we only see infotainment screens that are like 7-inch, 6.3-inch, 12-inch screens. So everything is run by tech. So yeah, but I mean, obviously with electric vehicles, it's a bit more tech.
Yes.
You need specialized engineers to come out and service those vehicles. So yeah,
okay,
that was your point.
Yes, okay. Yes. No, that's why I wanted to know, because it was World EV Day in this week.
Yeah.
On the 9th of September. We had World EV Day, World Electric Vehicle Day. And then in going from there to vehicles, there was
but wait, before you go to vehicles, the electric vehicle market, let's just touch on that quickly. Correct. The electric vehicle market has actually boomed here in South Africa. I mean, we just saw coming down how many like BYDs did we see?
Yeah.
And I mean, last year you wouldn't even see that vehicle wasn't even available in the country. And now all of a sudden we're seeing so many on
and when we did the reviews of some of the electric vehicles, we actually tried to test it along the long road from Johannesburg to Durban, and we've actually noticed quite a few of those EV stations coming up as well.
Yeah, there is. I mean, people don't realize that the EV market here in South Africa, we're very capable and we're ready, like, for the EV vehicles.
Even with Eskom.
Even with Eskom, because the thing is, there's so many stations, like you said. You can go literally down the road and there's a station for you to charge. And these guys, most of the manufacturers are actually installing home stations for you. So you don't have to even go out. And I mean, if you can afford an EV, well, these ones are a little bit cheaper, but the other ones, you're probably running solar at home and generators. So.
Okay. And then also in terms of technology is gaming, right? So the 2025 MTN Shift gaming experience is on currently, and it's deemed to be South Africa's biggest gaming tournament. And it kicked off on the 18th of May online. They had some online and in-store events, with the finals coming up this week in store. They have its months of competitive energy, in-center activation, serious prize money. I think it was about 250,000 rand worth of prize money.
Sure. Why weren't we told about that?
And yeah, so it's across all the it's in the malls across the country. And then this year's edition raised the stakes with the return of the EAFC 25 National Football Tournament and the debut of the MTN Beat Saber Challenge, 2 national titles, one massive celebration of gaming culture. Let me quickly tell you all the malls that were involved. There was Rosebank Mall, where it actually started or kicked off. Then it went to Somerset Mall, Woodlands, The Glen, Table Bay Mall, Clearwater Mall. Then the second last round of qualifiers was at Cape Gate Mall.
Okay.
And now in this week, the finals will be held in Canal Walk from the 17th to 21st of September. So if you want to get down there to cheer some of the contestants, because it's too late for you to enter, you can go through.
Okay.
But yeah, the gaming communities
We're going to miss out on the 250,000 though. Should we be cheering on other people?
Yes.
No, but it's good.
Motivation.
No.
Yeah, but the gaming community has grown quite a bit, because there is something else in terms of gaming. Toyota. Do you remember the Toyota gaming engine which started in lockdown?
Yes, I do. I actually do remember that.
Okay.
I remember they started with, I think it was obviously like a Gran Turismo style sim racing.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
The sim racing, ooh, that is something I'm not used to, hey? I can go into all of these. I've tried many of these simulators at some of these events that we go to that, they have that. And I always say, this time I'm going to do it. I'm going to make sure that I don't crash And not once have I ever been able to finish the race.
And it's so funny because those arcade games
Those
were so easy.
Yeah,
But these simulators, for some reason, I don't know. I also have trouble with it.
I think you had like you have relative who had a game that we played,
Yeah.
and they had something that had, like those boundary bars that when you go bowling.
Yeah.
He had something like that put in the game. I don't know how, but when we were playing with that, then I managed to do that.
So you didn't crash?
No, I didn't crash. And you when you're taking the turns, you brake at a certain point and this and that. But with the other simulators, no.
Yeah. No, but Toyota's come quite a long way, I think, in the gaming space. Yes.
So speaking of them, the Toyota gaming engine scores gold at the 2025 Mark Award. So just because, I mentioned that they started in lockdown.
Yeah.
It was 2021, I think. So they had Toyota, what was it? The Toyota gaming engine has started, where was it? It evolved into one of South Africa's most exciting gaming communities. When the world stood still in 2021, Toyota leaned into play with stadiums empty and sports on pause. TTGE was launched to give fans a place to compete, connect, and celebrate their love of the game. Today, it has grown into a vibrant platform where esports pros, football fanatics, sim racing enthusiasts, and casual gamers collide, from FIFA thumb wars and Gran Turismo battles, like you mentioned, to quirky mobile challenges. TTGE has created a space where everyone plays for the sport of it. So yes, they've grown quite a bit.
Yeah. But as you say, I don't know if you can remember, but EA Sports, it's in the game.
Yes, I remember.
When you were just talking about that. But let's go for a break, and when we get back, I know Isa later in the show is going to tell us about his tips to detox from the devices. But straight after the break, we're going to be chatting to Mic Mann from Singularity U, South Africa.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to Level Up.
If you've just tuned in, we've been talking all about the recent Apple event and all the devices which were announced. And later on, Isa will be sharing some tips on how to detox from those exact devices which were launched. But right now, we have an interview coming up. Our WhatsApp line is open. The number is 072 786 1548, or you can call in on 011 854 7022 if you have any questions for Mic Mann. So the Singularity Youth Summit South Africa is an annual occurrence around this time of the year.
Yes, it is.
So it's around September, October, hey? And I can remember you and I, Ziad and I, have been attending a few online during our lockdown periods. And it's great to have them back in person because there's so much to see and so much to learn. If you haven't heard of the Singularity U South Africa Summit, it covers topics from AI, robotics, education, biotechnology, cybersecurity, and how technology can be used to solve some of the global challenges that we face.
Yes, it's very informative, and I like that last part, some of the global challenges that we face. Last year, I saw the world's first lab-grown egg being cooked, and attendees ate the animal-free egg whites. Can you believe it? Yeah.
Wow.
There were also some fascinating talks on the future of education. But with us on the line to give us more information about what to expect from this year's summit, we have Mic Mann. So let me just introduce Mic Mann. He is one of Africa's most respected futurists and exponential technologists, having pioneered some of the continent's seminal technology projects. As the co-founder and CEO of Ubu, which was formerly Africa Rare, Africa's first metaverse, the co-founder of award-winning experiential agency Man-Made, and the driving force behind the Singularity U phenomenon, Mic has unbeatable experience in digital innovation. He is a thought leader in Web3, cryptocurrencies, virtual reality, and bleeding-edge technologies. With unshakable optimism and belief in the power of exponential technologies to future-proof Africa. That's actually the hashtag, future-proof Africa. Yes. So, like I said, Mic Mann is on the line. Good afternoon, Mick, and welcome to Level Up. How are you on this Sunday afternoon?
Doing great. Great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Mick. So for our listeners who do not know much about the Singularity U South Africa Summit, who've been living under a rock for the last few years, please tell us about it.
Sure. So Singularity University was started by Ray Kurzweil and Peter Diamandis in around 2008. And all with the goal to educate, empower, and inspire people to embrace these new technologies that are coming up, these exponential technologies that are on this incredible growth curve, so that we could learn how to use these new tools that are available to us and build the future we all want to live in, that's abundant and democratized for all. And we've been running Singularity South Africa for the last 10 years for Singularity University out of Silicon Valley, really with how do we educate, empower, and inspire leaders and future leaders to lead Africa in this new technological transformation. Because when you understand these tools that are at our disposal now, you can really make better decisions as a leader, you can empower yourself, and you can create these new products and services that we're seeing come out almost every day now. So we've been running this summit for this will be our 7th Singularity South Africa Summit, and we bring together some of the brightest minds from around the world, from multiple countries, to educate our people on how to understand these tools better and use them in their daily lives.
Yes, that's fantastic. I mean, you talk about using them better. Some people are always scared of new technologies, and there's so much that you can do with these tools, like you say. So, Mick, what can attendees expect to see this year for the summit?
So for our 10th year, we're making it a really special one. We're going to be bringing some amazing speakers on artificial intelligence. As we reach closer to artificial general intelligence, how do we plan for that? And how's it going to change our economies and the future of work? We're going to be looking at artificial intelligence in leadership, in decision making, in practical applications for your supply chain management. We're also going to have a strong focus on robotics this year, as we're seeing now with this advancement and acceleration in AI. It's this new intelligence is going to be embodying and imbuing physical hardware in the very near future. And we've got some humanoid robots and some dog robots that will be attending and being demoed. We're also going to be focusing a lot on longevity and healthcare. As at Singularity, we try to teach to have a longevity mindset. How do you keep yourself healthy and strong as this technology is progressing, allowing us to have a much greater health span, so that when we believe that people born today are already going to live well past 150. So how do you actually use this mindset to sleep better, eat better, look after yourself, and not have this concept of self-harm that's been the narrative of, like, we think that that extra bit of sugar is good for us, but it's actually in the long run it's not good for us. So we've got the sleep doctor coming, Michael Brace, who's going to be analyzing our sleep patterns, and similarly how we did the egg last year, you'll be able to take part in a sleep activation in the metaverse. And then people the next day, on the second day, will come up and be able to have their sleep analyzed by the sleep doctor. Then we've also got Saya Ahmed coming from Dubai. She's the CEO of Tourism and Vara in Dubai, and to talk about the future of cities and how do we look at tourism and building communities in a similar way that Dubai has been so successful in the last 10 years.
Okay. But is it restricted to a certain age group, or is it open to anybody?
It's open to anybody. We actually have quite a few parents bringing their kids. We're quite fascinated to see that parents actually buy tickets for their kids to come and attend, so that they can be empowered. And they come from all over South Africa. They'll come from PE or Durban or Cape Town, just to give the youth that exposure in person. But then we also have a metaverse option, which is a 3D immersive world that you can come and see a digital twin of the physical summit. And, you can take part in games and treasure hunts and digital expos as these little avatars walking around. And we've made a hyper-realistic version of that avatar now. So you can take a few selfies of yourself, come in as yourself, and get the custom edition limited hoodie for the summit, the virtual hoodie.
Sure. Well, I must say I'm very impressed, Mick, from the years that I've seen you guys start the metaverse into what it is now, because I've attended quite a few of these, as well as the media launches as well, and I must say you guys are doing very good work, and I like that kids are coming as well. Parents are bringing them through, because there is quite a lot for them to learn as well. Mick, is there anything special that we should look out for in terms of either online in the metaverse or in person?
Yeah, so we've got a big focus on leadership, as it's the G20 coming to South Africa about a month later in November. We really have got a big focus on what do leaders need to, what sort of qualities and characteristics do they need to engender to lead us into a bright future. So we've got people talking about leadership and ingenuity in an exponential age, VC investment, how to find the next gladiators to invest in. We'll also be focusing a lot on intention and the type of, when you are living your life, not to just be stuck in your day-to-day habits and your day-to-day thinking, but really to think about how do you create that spark of energy, that spark of momentum in your life, almost like starting a car. When you turn on that engine, that ignition, it creates that spark that can drive you hundreds of kilometers. So how do you do that in your own life? And we've got an amazing speaker, Jeff Karp, who's a biotech inventor, who's going to share some of his lessons over the last 20 years on how does he come up with new inventions. How does he use intention to actually build his own life and to serve him, and looking at nature as a guide for coming up with new ideas and new ways of innovating and disrupting the status quo.
Sure, that's incredible. Mick, I know when I attended last year, there was quite a lot of things to do and see, and I missed quite a few because there was some stuff that was overlapping, because you had the stuff on the main stage, and then there was also those silent, what do they call them, where the headphones.
The silent disco, yes.
Yeah. And there were some that were overlapping that I wanted to see. How do we mitigate that? How would we be able to get access to stuff that we've missed during the summit?
So this year we've actually we've just made one side stage at the breaks,
okay, so
that there won't be that much overlapping, and then there'll be limited round tables in that further area in the committee room 5 downstairs.
Okay,
so that's just for a small audience of people that want to attend an AI prompting workshop or a workshop on longevity. But most of it happens now not overlapping for this year. And then on top of that, if you have an in-person ticket or a metaverse ticket, post the summit, we do a relive experience in the metaverse. So if there's anything you've missed, you can always catch it up in the relive experience.
That's fantastic, Mick. And then how do people get in touch with you? Does one buy tickets? How do they keep connected with Singularity U South Africa?
So the easiest way is to just go to our website, which is the short URL is susasummit.org, susaSummit.org, susaSummit.org. And then you can also follow us on any of the social channels like Instagram or X or LinkedIn or Facebook.
Okay.
Or YouTube.
Okay. So listeners, you've heard it. It's susa.org.
Yes.
Okay.
susasummit.org.
Okay. So thank you very much, Mick, for joining us on the program today. We wish you all the success with the summit next month, and we hope to be there in person as well to witness
Thank
everything.
you, Ziad. Okay. The one thing I just want to end on is that we are living in the most incredible time to be alive. we are at this inflection point where we're going to see more change in the next 5 to 10 years than we've seen in the last 100 years.
Sure.
So it's up to us to embrace these technologies and to build the future we all want to live in.
Yes, definitely. Future-proof Africa, as you say it, Mick.
Exactly. Exactly. We've got to do it for the next generation.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Mick. All the best, and take care. We'll chat soon.
Thanks so much, Ziad.
Thanks.
Eh?
Bye.
Cheers, eh? Bye.
Okay, that was very interesting. I'm looking forward to that summit. And now we're going to have a bit of a break. And when we come back, Isa will share with us some tips to detox from your devices, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to Level Up. If you've just tuned in, we've come towards the end of today's program, but before we go, I'm going to share a few tips on how to detox from your device. Our WhatsApp line is open. The number is 072 786 1548, or you can call in on 854 7022 if you have any tips you would like to share. Okay, so the first step is to throw your device in the bin. No, I'm just joking. So I don't have my own phone, but I use devices around the house, mainly for school because I do homeschooling. I play the odd game now and again, and I message my grandparents, but most of my time spent on a phone would be to learn or do research like I did before the program today. I wake up quite early, around 5 a.m., and my first tip is to make sure that I do not look at the screen as soon as I wake up. I wait a few hours, maybe by 9 or 10 a.m. I will look at the screen. When I do use the screen and it's still dark, I make sure that the brightness is on the lowest. The eye comfort shield setting is on. Most of the time, I am in dark mode on the phone and on the web browser. I make sure that I always break and put the device on airplane mode to make salah, so there's no interference before, during, or after I make salah. Before going to bed, I last look at a screen about an hour or maybe 2 before I go to sleep, sometimes longer, and again it's back on airplane mode for the night, which also helps with the battery life. These all help with reducing screen time, but how I detox from the devices is I stop using it on Friday and only start using it again on Monday. Sometimes if I need to use it over the weekend, I do 2 or 3 day or even a week reset if I can, where I don't use a device at all or look at any screen. It helps me reset, focus, and it changes my mood and behavior completely. At first, detoxing is quite hard because most people are attached to their phone, but just getting away from all the negative energy and stories and time wasting, it can really help clear your mind and free your time to read Quran, read a book, play outside, play with your family. So this is just a few of my tips as an 11-year-old on how to reduce screen time and detox from your digital devices.
Alhamdulillah, that was good advice. Alhamdulillah. Zia, did you help him with any of that?
No, I thought you did.
Oh. Okay, he must have done research, like he said, to be on the actual phone, on the device that he said he's detoxing from.
But then if he was on the device, then he has to do that reset that he said.
Yes, so no phone for, what did he say to you?
He said a week.
A week?
Yeah.
I thought I heard 2 or 3 days.
No, then he said a week. He said 2 to 3 days and then a week. So
Or even
he
a
just
week.
walked into that trap now. He's not going to have a phone for a week.
I have to admit something. I'm going to admit something. I think I'm
Okay.
going to do it.
Yeah.
I actually don't have the phone attached to my, and you can vouch for that. I really, now I have it just for notes, yes, I admitted that.
Yeah.
But I don't have the phone on me most of the time, so even if you need me in an emergency, sorry, I won't be available. I'm actually not even addicted to social media.
You do play the odd game,
I
though.
play the odd game now and again to
But that's on my phone.
de-stress. Yes,
so that's why you're never on your phone. Because if I try to phone you, then no one can ever get hold of you.
Yes, but I'm actually offline. I'm actually trying to get back online, and it's becoming very difficult because you almost get addicted to being offline when you've been offline for so long.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was very helpful tips. Thank you, Isa. Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
So,
yeah?
shall we leave now?
No. You said there was something that was playing on your mind on the break.
Okay, shall I share that? Because it's quite heavy.
Yeah.
It's quite deep.
But I think it's pertinent to what we were just talking about detoxing.
Detoxing, okay. So there's something that I saw, like you mentioned, on your phone, because I'm usually checking your phone to play games or checking out things that you've screenshot on your gallery. There's this one thing I found on your gallery. It's a screenshot from Dr. Raymond Nichols. He says this, right? He says, "You were never meant to witness someone's final breath and then laugh at a TikTok. You weren't built for that. Your soul wasn't designed to hold that kind of weight and then move on like it's nothing. This isn't just about tech. This is trauma. This is spiritual damage. We are overstimulated, underconnected, and completely shut down inside. We are seeing everything and feeling nothing, and that should break your heart."
Sure, that's powerful.
It is powerful. That's why I wasn't sure if I should mention it, but it has been playing on my mind for a while.
But it's so true. Like there's a lot of obviously footage, videos and pictures that are coming out, like from Gaza, that we see on a daily basis, and it's traumatizing. It is.
It is traumatizing.
And the more we see it, the more trauma we carry.
Yes.
And we don't realize it, but it actually comes out in other ways. Like we could suddenly become aggressive and we don't know why, or we could suddenly just break down and cry and in the middle of a shopping center, and we don't know why. It's because we're holding this trauma, and there's no outlet, because a lot of us are consuming the content and we're not actually creating the content, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes
so there's no way to get rid of the trauma, but we consuming and consuming. I mean, if you go on TikTok now or Instagram or whatever, you're going to see these videos, you're going to see these pictures and stuff coming through, because that's all you see on your newsfeed. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. We have to see it. It's happening. We have to realize the world needs to know that these things are happening.
But what he's saying also is we're seeing that, and then straight after that we're seeing like maybe a funny cat video or something weird or something stupid.
And then
we're so desensitized.
Yeah. Sarisa?
You wanted to say something?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, like the algorithm on TikTok. So you're seeing a video from Gaza, and then straight after that, like you say, you see a funny cat video, and your brain hasn't even registered what it's seen in that video, and you're already laughing at the next video. And I think it's very important. I think maybe one of the next few weeks we do cover mental health and lifestyle. We should actually talk about this, maybe get an expert in to say how we can. I mean, Isa's little detox tips is one thing, but getting a actual professional in to tell us how to deal with this trauma that we're seeing on a daily basis.
That would be very interesting to know, especially for our youth, because they are the ones who are continuously consuming all of this on a daily basis.
Yes.
But alhamdulillah for another show, and jazakallah khair to all our listeners for joining us on this lovely Sunday afternoon. We had a nice tech-based program, and then it got a bit deep now. But yes, and we also enjoyed Isa's tips on how to detox your device. And I remember his very first tip was throwing your phone in the bin, even though it was a joke. We had a riveting conversation with Mic Mann, the co-CEO of Singularity U South Africa, and we learned all about the new Apple devices, and that you definitely can't throw in the bin once you buy those, because those are very expensive. Please join us every Sunday, inshallah, from 2 to 3 p.m. right here on Radio Islam International. From myself, Nabiha, Ziad, and Isa, enjoy your Sunday, and we wish you a wonderful week ahead, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.